What would you do if you guys were hit with an emergency? How big does it have to be before your budget breaks? $100, $500, $1,000 more? Today, we're going to talk about why you need an emergency fund and how you can protect yourself. Thanks again for joining me on this marriage and money tip. I'm Elle Martinez, creator and host of Couple Money. And I'm talking about emergencies because we were hit with a big one this weekend. Our cat unfortunately got unexpectedly ill. We had to rush him to the hospital, take him to the vet, and thankfully he's on the mend. But between the hospital bills, diagnostics, medicine, recovery, we're looking at $1,500 of expenses. And years ago, this would have been a major struggle. But nowadays, we do have some savings put aside because let's be honest, life happens. And so I want to make sure, if you guys haven't already, have a starter emergency fund ready at all times when things come up. It could be a car accident that you get into to cover the deductible. And maybe one of your kids get ill. You got to take them to the doctors and those expenses. Whatever it is, set aside a little bit of money for those kinds of emergencies, even if you guys are in the middle of paying down some high interest debts. The reason is when these emergencies happen, it can take months to rebuild if you don't have any savings up front. So again, start off with something around the $1,000 range. It gives you enough of a cushion to take care of maybe insurance deductibles, any co-payments you might have, out-of-pocket expenses until you can get your cash flow going again. Because I don't want you to rely on a credit card to take care of an emergency that puts you further into debt. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have any savings. It's been estimated about 26% of Americans don't have any savings right now. So please make it a priority. Of course, when things are tight, it's hard to figure out how are you going to come up with the money. Well, I designed a course just for that. It's called 5 Days to 5K. And it's a free course. It's email, and it takes you through how you can find, save, and make some extra money to get that emergency fund started. And then you can use those techniques to then take care of your debts if you want to invest more, or if you want to expand your emergency fund. So a lot of times I get questions from couples like, I want to make sure we have a big enough cushion before we even start paying down debt. Is there a right number? Of course, I wouldn't call that a particular right number, but I would start looking at it in layers of protection. And the first one is having that starter emergency fund, about $1,000. But then you also want to look at paying down your high interest debts. Those are the ones that are going to be draining your finances. So if you can knock out those credit card debts, then you're also adding another layer of protection. Should an emergency happen, the money that you would have been spending paying down those debts can easily cover a lot of expenses. And then once you take care of your debts, then you guys can sit down and talk about how big of an emergency fund do we want to have for bigger problems, maybe a job loss, maybe disability until the insurance kicks in. Those things you should discuss together. But I just want to give you guys a reminder. If you don't have an emergency fund right now, please get started at least $1,000. It'll give you guys some peace of mind and then protect you for when life happens. As always, if you have any questions, you can email me. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe so you can get a tip each week on how you guys can work together to get on the same page, dump your debt, and build your wealth as a team. Take care.